Okay. Oh, jeez. I'm coughing again today. That's bad. That is bad and not good. Where is my... Okay, so at the very least, my audio should have improved from the previous stream. Oh. Is it? Sorry, just doing a quick little social check. My video is not public. There we go. Publish. There we go. We should be all good. All of that was on stream. Wonderful. I'm fucking retarded. That's great. Bring up chat. Now, this is not a random article. You're like special random. And now we're at a score of 1 on the... Or I guess this would be 0. This has to be 0. Shit. How am I gonna do my score? Alright, we'll just do it. We'll do it live. Now, we'll say par 5 best is 0 since we haven't got anything, and I'll just drop this straight on top of my camera. There you go. That should be nice. Okay, I see some good targets already. I should probably change my stream titles on the other platforms. My god, I hate. Alright, now we're gonna go to... There we are. Fixed it. I can't believe how retarded I am sometimes. It's hilarious. Stream manager. Why does it still says 2 truths and a lie? This is wrong. This is wrong. Why? How do I change this now? Stream preview, stream info. Any percent Wikipedia. You know, this is kick. We'll just go words related to Hitler. Sneak preview of the name of the game. Jesus, kick. Stop it. And how do I... Now it's gonna be difficult on Twitch. So I don't know how to actually change my Twitch streaming tools. Stream rename. No, that's for the layout. Okay. Manage stream. How much of a management is it if I can't rename the King stream? It is stream info. I'm retarded. There we go. You know, words lead to Hitler. Wikipedia Speedrun. Okay, we can play. I would like as many viewers as I have braided taxi. Yeah. Thanks, bot. Okay, Graham Webb. This article is about the English cyclist for the Australian broadcaster. See Graham Webb broadcaster. 1944. Unfortunately, that's not linked. Graham Paul Webb was an English racing cyclist who became the world amateur road race champion in 1967. In response to a journalist's shouted comment that the last British amateur world road champion had been Dave Marsh 45 years earlier, Webb retorted, and they'll have to wait another 45 years before another British rider wins. Not only did no British man win a world road race championship in the following 45 years, but none can now win the amateur championship, as the segregation between amateur and professional cycling no longer exists. Based Graham Webb. Early days, Graham Webb was born on the 13th of January 1944 as the youngest of 5 children. Brought up by a war widow in a slum in Birmingham, England, he was given the last rites twice as a child before gaining his health. That's insane. All right, you have to be muted. He got his first bike when he was 8 and soon enjoyed going not only on long rides, but rides of such length that they were beyond him. He began riding from Birmingham to Gloucester and back just because it was a magical 100-mile round trip, and persisted until he could do it without literally falling into a ditch from exhaustion. That's a lot of miles. 100 miles is a lot of miles. He succeeded non-stop only on his 3rd attempt. I just enjoyed doing it, he said. I enjoyed suffering, I suppose. I still do. Webb, jeez, this guy's insane. Webb entered his first race at age 17, a 25-mile time trial. Unaware of what he was supposed to do, shy and not understanding why competitors were starting individually as opposed to together in a bunch, Webb waited until he was called, by which point he was late for his allocated start time. The time was calculated from the allocated start time instead of his actual start time as a penalty. Wearing a t-shirt and pumps, Webb set off under the impression that he had to catch the riders that had started ahead of him in order to win. He was hampered initially as one of his pumps fell off and he had to wait for cars to pass before being able to return to collect his shoe and continue. Webb later commented that, quote, I quickly caught someone and waited for him. When he was telling me, clear off, very unsociable, I thought. Oh, and he was telling me, clear off, very unsociable, I thought. I rode on, went round the turn in the road, came back, and the chain jumped off between the block and the frame. So I had to get off the bike, and I'd got a whole toolkit with me. Spanner, oil can, cloth for cleaning my hands, and so on. And this was wrapped around my seat tube with a spare in it. I had to undo the back wheel, put the... This is no small process. I had to undo the back wheel, put the chain back on, do up the wheel nuts, put everything behind the seat tube, and carry on. The following Thursday evening, when Webb went to his club meeting, as usual, he stood painfully shy to one side. Eventually, he was asked if he was Graham Webb, because if he was the winner of the race. He had ridden the 25 miles in 1 hour, 1 minute, and 31 seconds. Had it not been for the penalty of the late start and mechanical trouble, Webb would have broken the hour on an ordinary sports bicycle, at a time when to ride 25 miles in less than an hour was still the dream of most experienced cyclists. This is insane. Racing career. Webb spent the next years competing in several time trials and often won mass start events on the road. Attempts to ride well in the British national track team, according to Webb, were hindered by the team's persistent lack of morale and ambition. Yeah, I can see that. On a Monday evening in 1966 at Salford Park, Birmingham, having led his team to win the National Team Pursuit Championships the previous Saturday, Webb set new national track records at 10 miles, 25 miles, and 1 hour. On a track which had shallow bankings and bumpy tarmac, and on which it was deemed impossible to set any kind of record. The 10-mile record had never previously been set during an hour record attempt. Spectators were shouting at Webb to slow down, you're not last the distance at that speed. Webb took no notice and went on to beat the old hour record by approximately 400 meters. His new record remained unbeaten for many years. I'd love to know how many. In 1967, Webb and his wife sold all they owned and moved to Hilversum in the Netherlands, where a Dutch journalist and race organizer Charles Ruys had offered to find him a club and accommodation. In his first Dutch race, a semi-classic called the Omloop van der Brarene, Webb crashed over a riverbank and finished 16th, dripping mud and slime. After that, he began winning regularly, often lapping the field several times at criteriums. A criterium occurs a bike race consisting of several laps around a course. Okay. Webb's attempts at the World Tracks Championship in 1967 came to nothing. He trained between 200 and 300 kilometers a day for the World Road Race Championship, which followed a week later. Webb got into the important breakaway in this race, but dropped back to help a fellow British rider, Peter Buckley, up to the front. On his return to the front of the race, Webb discovered that a handful of riders had broken away. Webb led the chase, dropping Buckley in the process, and took the lead in a corner late in the race, accelerating clear to win it alone. What do you mean came to nothing? It sounds like he's wasting them. Turned professional in 1968 for the Mercier team, which included Raymond Poulidor and another French star, Jean Stablinski. Although things started going wrong from the moment a shipping strike stranded him in Sardinia, where he had been training, forcing him to miss the team's first race. On his return home to Belgium, his racing equipment was stolen from his car, which was parked at the time in the center of Turin, Italy. This was only 2 days before his first React Bro. Nozzle, I don't know who you are, and I'm probably not gonna go watching random links, even if they are YouTube links. Probably not. I'm not super interested in React content anyway. I think pretty much everyone's doing it. You wanna, if this is boring, we'll just go to England. Sorry, I just really loved that guy's story. Nah, screw you. I wanna know what happens next. He opened a bar and had his world champions where it became. Okay, so he got cigarette smoke. What could have been threw it on the fire. Steelworks. Man, that's. What the hell? Mechanical trouble. Knee pain. Okay. So he didn't make it. Okay, that's one. That is, in fact, one. We don't need to read all of the England page history. We're looking for something very specific here. There we go. World War II. That's 2, and that's 3. Close. What the hell, dude? So that's 3. Maybe part should be 4. I should fix. I don't know. Best 3. Okay. That's an eagle. You got an eagle, everybody. Random paging in. Pack Your Bags is a song by Joanne released in March 1999 as a debut solo single from a 2001 debut album, Do Not Disturb. The song debuted and peaked number 54 on the ARIA charts, Joanne's lowest charting single in Australia. Okay. Why is Australia not linked? Why is Australia not linked? Does Australia not have a Wikipedia page? This is insane. Recorded music included. Shark Records singles. I'm gonna have to go USA. Oh shit, it's USA Records? Okay, that's one. No, okay. Chicago. Chicago existed during World War II. Europe has been clicked. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know much about Chicago. Most populous city in the U.S. state of Illinois. Third most populous city in the United States. Population of 2.74 million. That's a lot of people. Metropolitan area had 9.41 million residents. Third largest met in the city. Seat of Cook County, second most populous county. That's a lot of people. Chicago was incorporated as a city in 1837 near a portage between the Great Lakes. Just in case anyone doesn't know, portage is when you, the Chicago portage specifically. Huh. Interesting. urban planning, O'Hare International Airport, tourism, literature, theater, Chicago Symphony. Oh, is the name Chicago is derived from a French rendering of the indigenous Miami, Illinois name, Sikagonki, the locative form of the word Sicagua, which can mean both skunk and ramps, a wild relative of onion and garlic known to botanists as... what the Okay, well, a lot of garlic grew profusely in Chicago. Chicagonki. Chicago. Okay. Which, according to what we were able to learn of it, has taken this name because of the quantity of garlic which grows in the forest in this region. Several nicknames throughout its city, such as the Windy City, Chi-Town, Second City, and the City of the Big Shoulders. Main article. History of Chicago has its own article, but... Man, that's the same link from a different chatter. That's super interesting. Definitely not a bot. Northwest, 1803, 1812, 1833, 1850s, 1871. Surely it made boats or something. World War One, we're getting there. 1920, homosexual rights organization. Well, naturally. In 1924. Okay. So there probably weren't that many Nazis in Chicago. World War Two. Wait, what is this? This is 2, right? So this will be 3. And where are you? That'll be 4. Okay, I need to update my thing. My score card. It needs... last 4. There we go. I'm not a React, bro. I don't like you're very clearly a bot. You're pasting the same link as some other guy, and I don't know why. If you want to tell me why, what it is, and why I should react to it, then maybe. But I doubt you are programmed to be capable of doing that, which is unfortunate for you. But you know, whatever. Another round. Another round. I'll Be Home is a 1955 song that wasn't written by Meghan Trainor. There's Randy Newman's. There's a lot of songs. I'll Be Home were written by Ferdinand Washington and songwriter Stan Lewis. Both the Flamingos and the Pat Boone versions feature a spoken recitation of the bridge section. Interesting. Ooh, Tutti Frutti, I know that one. The Flamingos first recorded the song in October 1955 at Chess's rudimentary office studio at 4750 South Cottage Grove using just 2 microphones and a tape recorder. Based, I bet they were in a figure 8 configuration. Leonard Chess chose to release the less polished version, recorded at Chess. The song was released on Chess's Checker Records subsidiary. That's funny. Subsidiary in January 1956, with the Flamingos version going to number 5 on Billboard's R&B chart. It sells greatly overshadowed by the Pat Boone version released the same month. Greatly overshadowed? That's just... If it makes number 5 on Billboard. Pat Boone recorded the song in December 1955 with producer Randy Wood for Dot Records. Boone's version was released as a single with Tutti Frutti as the B-side and yeah, okay. Boone's version peaked number 5 on the... Wait, what? Overseas, it was a number 1 hit in the UK singles chart, spending 5 weeks at number 1 and 24 weeks on the charts altogether. Best-selling single of 1956 in the United Kingdom. Slim Whitman featured a version on his hit 1977 album Home on the Range. Very interesting. Single by the... This one's gonna be tricky. Song is probably a terrible option. often transcribed as a wad bop, a loo mop, a wop, bam, boom. Bass transcription. UK singles chart, no. Universal Recording Corporation. No, that wasn't quite. I didn't click that. I didn't go to that page. Cheryl. Yeah, no, okay. I think that's the best option. Wow. In Chicago, I could go back through Chicago. What was that? Because we're on 1 now. That's 1. Oh. Universal Recording was the location of the first use of tape repeat in a recording, the first isolated vocal booth, the first recording with multiple overdubs of a single voice, early 8-track recording trials, and the first experiments with half-speed disc mastering. This is like the studio, huh? Oh, they patented putting 2 songs on each side of a 10-inch record. Oh, okay. I was thinking 1 song and like a single with a B-side. That's interesting that you're able to patent that. I'm not sure how I feel about that, but it was 1949, so like, yeah, fair enough. 19. Why is this Universal Pictures? No. That's crazy. I would have thought. Oh, shit. Half-speed master discs. Oh, on the Mercury label. Oh. What I wouldn't give for half-speed masters again. Oh, and the first artistic use of artificial reverb. That's very interesting. Oh, wait. Okay. Putnam. Founded by Bill Putnam Sr. Man, who is... There's 3 different users, one of them 3 times. Someone's paying a lot of money to have their content botted on Keg. That's interesting. Yeah, Bill Putnam Sr. established Universal Recording Corporation north of downtown Chicago in Evanston, Illinois in 1946. His partners were Bernie Clapper, a former Valparaiso... what the fuck? Did that say? Oh, G.A. I thought it said G.A. Doge. I was really hoping some guy's last name was Doge. The Emerson facility consisted of 1 small studio with a Western Electric broadcast console and a Scully recording lathe with Westrix system purchased from Otto Hip. Putnam won a lucrative contract with to record and delay broadcast transcriptions shows for the ABC radio net. Delay broadcast transcriptions. Ah, interesting. Recognizing the need for Universal Recording to have a location closer to downtown Chicago, Putnam took over the studios on the 42nd floor of the Chicago Civic Opera Building at 20 Wacker Drive. In Chicago, he struck a deal with the Harmonicats to help facilitate a recording session and record release in exchange for a portion of the sales of the record. That's a good deal. His use of the building's bathroom as an echo chamber for the recording of Peg of My Heart was the first artistic use of artificial reverb in a popular song. Song sold 1.4 million copies and gave Universal Recording Corporation a big boost in income and new business. Oh, the 1950s. Oh, this is too much. We're gonna go back through Chicago. We already know this line. That's kind of annoying. World War II. And... What? Oh, we scroll right past him. I wasn't keeping track. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. So we still won't manage to beat. I'd love to get a 2. 3 is pretty standard. The Royal Historical Commission of Burma has its own Wikipedia article. What? Okay. Founded in 1955, useless. Burma Research Society, super lame. The first 1824 to 18. This is shit. Am I only gonna make par for once? This is gonna suck. The Standard Chronicles. This is insane. Burma. Okay, this is the only path. History of Myanmar. Oh god. Okay. Myanmar, officially the Republic of the Union of Myanmar, and also referred to as Burma, the official English name until 1989, is a country northwest Southeast Asia. Really? It is the largest country by area in mainland Southeast Asia and has. Wait, really? And south of mainland China. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. It has a population of about 55 million. It is bordered by India and Bangladesh to the northwest, China to the northeast, Laos and Taiwan to the east and southeast, and the Andaman Sea and the Bay of Bengal to the. You mean the South China Sea? Or wait, no, that's the Bay of Bengal. Yeah, okay, my bad. My geography is famously terrible. Earliest civilizations in the area included the Tibeto-Burman-speaking Pyu city-states in Upper Myanmar and the Hmong kingdoms in Lower Myanmar. In the 9th century, the Burma people entered the Upper Irrawaddy Valley, and following the establishment of the pagan kingdom in the 1050s, the Burmese language and culture and Theravada Buddhism slowly became dominant in the country. The pagan kingdom fell to Mongol invasions, and several warring states emerged. In the 16th century, reunified by the Tongu dynasty, the country became the largest empire in the history of Southeast Asia for a short period. How short? The early 19th century. So for centuries. I don't know how short a period I would call that. The British East India Company seized control of the administration of Myanmar after 3 Anglo-Burmese wars in the 19th century, and the country became a British colony. After a brief Japanese occupation, Myanmar was reconquered by the Allies. On 4th of January 1948, Myanmar declared independence under the terms of the Burma Independence Act of 1947. Based. My country is still occupied by the East India Company. Or at least, their inheritors. Myanmar's post-independence history has been checked by continuing unrest and conflict to this day. The coup d'etat in 1962 resulted in a military dictatorship under the Burma Socialist Program Party. No way. On 8th of August 1988, the 8888 up 8th of August. August is the 8th month, I have to imagine, right? I'm not even going to count it out. 8th of the 8th, 88. The 8888 uprising. Man. In 1988? That's. Then resulted in a nominal transition to a multi-party system 2 years later. But the country's post-uprising military council refused to cede power and has continued to rule the country through to the present. The country remains riven by ethnic strife among its myriad ethnic groups and has one of the world's longest-running ongoing civil wars. Do you know? Wait, is this the place that used Yes, yes. Okay, hang on. I need to. This is amazing. So okay. What a shame. The FGC-9 is a visible? What? A data object. Okay. Interesting. 3D printable semi-automatic pistol caliber carbine first released in early 2020 based on the Shooty AP9 by Durwood. The FGC-9 was designed and first manufactured by the German-Kurdish gun designer Jacob Döger. Rest in peace, J. Stark, 1809. The gun's name is an initialism for fuck gun control, with the 9 referencing its 9mm cartridge. Okay, so, yes, service history, wars, Myanmar Civil War. Holy shit. This is amazing. The FGC-9 has become a significant weapon in Myanmar's ongoing civil war. Oh, shit. We're going crazy. The semi-automatic carbine, designed by J. Stark 1809, rest in peace, best boy of deterrence dispense, is manufactured almost entirely from 3D printed components. Has been adopted by various anti-junta groups, including the People's Defense Force and ethnic minority militia, to counter the military junta's superior firepower. Its use represents a major shift in asymmetric warfare, allowing rebels to produce functional firearms locally despite restricted access to conventional weapons. Oh, man, before they capture more powerful firearms from the battlefield. I forgot about this. It's still going on. I'm given to understand that they don't really, it's not super commonly used anymore, but I'm sure it is still a perfect. There are, shit, how can I? Okay, that worked. Cool. Oh, shit. Chew.com. I really want you guys to see this, so just hold on a minute. Oh. My window's all messed up. There we go. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna need to add this as for the audio and add browser apps Brave and yeah, so this is a year ago. And this might be super loud. Let's see.
Hidden under a large green tarpaulin, a secret workshop deep in the jungle of Myanmar. Workers using rudimentary tools, filing down blocks of steel into gun barrels and bolt actions. The end product,
Wait, really?
22 caliber rifle,
Huh.
effective but slow to manufacture. At the back of the workshop, however, a bank of 3D printers, their secret.
Yeah.
It's possible because of the young people who understand technology. For a middle-aged man like me, we combine our experience with their technology to produce these products.
Components for M16 assault rifles, printed in strength.
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't think I'd be making it to 3D printed guns on my second ever stream.
Plastic filament. A precision lathe is still needed to bore the metal components, but their design has evolved through trial and error. They're facing the Myanmar military.
Wait.
Evolved through trial.
Oh, it's like a 3D printed AR lower on a bolt action up. Oh, so that'll speed up the production of the 22s that they're making.
Trial and error. They're facing the Myanmar military with armored vehicles, heavy artillery, and unchallenged power in the air. The military government has brought in mandatory conscription in response to the increasingly effective opposition to its rule. But as the civil war transforms into guerrilla tactics on multiple fronts, many soldiers don't seem to have the will to fight.
Right now, we see a lot of
Conscription,
Myanmar
huh?
soldier, they decided to surrender, right, with a resistance group, and the thing that we find from the reason why they surrender because the morale is not so good.
Captured weapons and ammunition
Oh,
have enabled
fuck.
the ethnic armies to overrun hundreds of military
Okay, they're kept. Okay, good.
bases in the last 6 months. And the 3D printed rifles
Just in case anyone isn't aware, RPG rockets actually only work when you take off the cap on the front of them. So,
have passed the ultimate test.
Our products are now in the battles. We met some soldiers we gave our weapons to. They said it has seen action. Now I'm motivated.
Now they're producing 100 semi-automatics a month, but they're aiming for 1,000 if they can get
Wait,
the raw
shit.
materials. Boxed up and
so when it says semi-automatics, they're talking about the FGC-9s, not the...
ready to ship out to the front line. Tony Cheng, Al Jazeera.
Those are very clearly bolt actions. You can see the bolt. Hang on, right here. That's a bolt lever for opening and closing the bolt.
Make sure to subscribe to our channel.
Some of Myanmar's young protesters have given up on non-violent resistance and are preparing for war.
Based.
Across rivers and obstacle
Shotgun?
courses, they are training for combat and learning the basics, including how to fire a weapon. 23-year-old Min, which is not his real name, says he had never heard a gunshot before while growing up in a city. He says he now knows the sound, which once frightened him, will be the sound that ends the military rule.
We can't accept
Well.
this military dictatorship that started in 1962 to continue to our next generation. We want development for our generation and our
Holy shit, this is
generation.
4 years ago.
It's underdeveloped because of this military dictatorship. But that
Yeah,
doesn't
he's
make
right.
us stupid. That's why we will end this military dictatorship, root it out.
Okay, 4-year-old news. Let's go. We can be done with that. Oh. What happened here? Why does it not want to... It was fine before. Oh. There we go. Oh, okay, hang on. There we go. Now we're talking. Okay. So that was from the Royal Historic. Okay, so we're on 1. Mainland Southeast Asia. Burmese military hunter, etymology, history, early cities, Pagan Kingdom. Pagan? Wait, what? Pagan. Okay, my mistake. First ever unification of the Irrawaddy Valley and its periphery. Eclipsing the pure modern Pali norms, clarification needed. Yeah, okay, fair. Remained heavily entrenched. Pagan's rulers and wealthy built over 10,000 Buddhist temples in the Pagan capital zone alone. Repeated Mongol invasions in the late 13th century toppled the 4th century Old Kingdom in 1287. Pagan's collapse was followed by 250 years of political fragmentation that lasted well into the 16th century. Okay, well, we're still thinking about a little bit later than that. 1740. Man. British Burma. 1885 to 1948. Okay, this is 1. Now we're on 2. 3. Booyakasha. Okay. Last 3. Oh, that's German Workers' Party. DAP. Weird ass German language. Ancestry. Illegitimate child. Ooh. Oh, he was legitimized. Hitler, or Hitler. And has the meaning one who lives in a hut. That is insane. Imagine if, you know, like the no word was Schickelgruber. That's absolutely nuts. Wait, what? Okay, you can't see it. I'm sorry. Well, that's 3. Let's go again. Go next. I really wanted to. Tomerus. Also called Tomerus or Tomodide, was a queen of the Massagetei who ruled in the 6th century BCE, known only for the writings of the Greek historian Herodotus, according to whom she led her armies to defend against an attack by Cyrus the Great of the Achaemenid Empire, and defeated and killed him in 530 BC. She is not mentioned in the few other early sources covering the period, especially what? Tasius of Cnidus? Okay, whatever. Tomerus became a popular subject in European art and literature during the Renaissance. In visual art, she was typically depicted either receiving the head of Cyrus or placing it into a vessel filled with blood, a motif derived from one version of the accounts. The theme belonged to the power of woman tradition in Renaissance art, which celebrated women who triumphed over men in various ways. See, it's been woke for years, guys. The name Tomerus is a Latin form of the ancient Greek name Tomerus, which is itself the Hellenization of the Saka name Talmudia. Ah, I like that one way more. Derived from a code name of the Abyssinian word Tolman and of the Old Persian word Tuma, meaning seed, germ, and kinship. When the founder of the Persian Achaemenid Empire, Cyrus, asked for the hand of Tomerus with the intent of acquiring her kingdom through marriage, she understood Cyrus's aims and rejected his proposal. On the advice of the Lydian Croesus, Cyrus responded to Tomerus' rejection by deciding to invade the Massagetei. First mistake. When Cyrus started building a bridge on the Araxes River with the intent of attacking Massagetei, Tomerus advised him to remain satisfied with ruling his own kingdom and to allow her to rule hers. Cyrus's initial assault was routed by the Massagetei, after which he set up a fancy banquet with large amounts of wine in the tents of his camp as an ambush and withdrew. What? Whoa, the Massagetei, led by Tomerus' son and the commander of their army, Spagapices, who primarily used fermented mare's milk and cannabis as intoxicants, like many Iron Age steppe nomads, and therefore were not used to drinking wine, became drunk and were easily defeated and slaughtered by them. All roads lead to what? Hitler. Pars 5, last time we got 3, which is the best score. We got 2 3s so far. And, yeah, I don't know if you've been on Wikipedia, but all roads lead to Hitler. Look, I'll show you. Popular culture, Latin form, Persian, power of Renaissance. None of these are really great options, actually. No, all of these are terrible. See? Yeah. Wait, you were here long enough for you. You should know. Kazakhstan. Let's just go speed through it. Everyone's seen Borat. They know about Kazakhstan. Kazakh SSR, 1945. Now we're talking. In 19... What? Anti-nuclear movement. Oh, first secretary of the... Goddamn, August 19... This is... It just goes straight past World War II. I can't believe this. Okay, we'll pick this one back up, but you need it. So, we go random article, and for a random article, we got the Royal Historical Commission of Burma, which is Myanmar, and we watched a bunch of stuff about the 3D printed weapons being used to fight against the thing. But from that, we go pretty easily to World War II, from World War II to Hitler. All roads lead to Hitler. We got another random page, and we got this figure of Greek history, I presume. Well, Massagetay, ancient Eastern Iranian Saka people. Oh, steppes of Central Asia. We're part of the wider Scythian cultures. So not Greek history necessarily, but it was recorded in Greek history. And I was reading about her son, well, yeah. They were not used to drinking wine. Yeah, so Cyrus set up an ambush with a bunch of wine, who Spargapaces fell for, drank all his wine, became drunk, and were easily defeated and slaughtered by Cyrus, thus destroying a third of the Massagetan army. Spargapaces had been captured by Cyrus, and once he had become sober and understood his situation, he asked Cyrus to free him, and after Cyrus acquiesced to his pleas, he killed himself. I mean, yeah, fair enough. After Tamaris found out about the death of Spargapaces, she sent Cyrus an angry message in which she called the wine which had caused the destruction of her army and her son a drug which made those who consumed it so mad that they spoke evil words, and demanded him to leave his land, or else she would, swearing upon the sun, give him more blood than he could drink. Cyrus, I'd believe her. In the account of Herodotus, contradicted by various other sources, Tamaris herself led the Massagetan army into war, and during the next battle opposing the Massagetay to the forces of Cyrus, Tamaris defeated the Persians and destroyed most of their army. Cyrus himself was killed in the battle, and Tamaris found his corpse, severed his head, and put it in a bag filled with blood while telling Cyrus, "Drink your fill." That's amazing. But yeah, we went through to Kazakhstan on that, and ethnic Russian Muslim. Come on, I must have scrolled past something. There's no way the history of this goes like all the way around World War II, but it never mentions it. Because we're already on 2. Oh wait, are we? Oh no, we're not. This is 1. Okay. There's a lot of hyperlinks on this page, and none of them are great. Constituents of the Soviet Union. Ah. Okay. Declaration of Sovereignty in 1990. reconstituted as the Republic of Kazakhstan. 1991. Independence from the USSR. 16th of December 1991 was a busy month for Kazakhstan, huh? Kazakh derives from a Turkic root meaning free, independent, or wanderer. Based. Including the term is increasingly being used to refer to any inhabitant of Kazakhstan, including residents of other ethnicities. The workification of Kazakhstan needs to stop. Caucasoid during the Bronze and Iron Age period. '15th century, no, Russian Kazakhstan. Man, this is a really tricky one. Because we're still only on one. One of 11 such republics. It's a full union republic. Okay. Soviet-German War. Is that... Okay. We're on 1, 2, 3, 4. What a shame. Another 4. Just another 4. Update the scoreboard. So yeah, any workers wondering what's going on, blown away 1994 film. So if you're wikipedia.org/wiki/special:random, you'll get a random page, a random article from Wikipedia, such as Blown Away in 1994 film. American action thriller film defected, jeez, absolute, directed by Stephen Hopkins and starring Jeff Bridges, Tommy Lee Jones, Forrest Whitaker, Susie Amos, and Lloyd Bridges follows a Boston bomb squad member pursuing an Irish bomber who recently escaped from prison and is targeting the other bomb squad members. Ryan Gaiety escapes from a cell in a castle prison in North Island after turning a toilet into a bomb, killing a guard and his cellmate. What? How not himself? This seems insane. 1 year and 2 months later in Boston, Lieutenant Jimmy Dove is a veteran member of the police force's bomb squad on the verge of retirement, helping to train newer recruits. Dove hides that he is really Liam McGivney, former member of Northern Ireland terror cell. He'd been friends with Gaiety, but when Gaiety tried to set off a bomb that would have killed numerous civilians, he interceded, ending in the death of his girlfriend. Tragic, and leading to Gaiety's imprisonment. Only Dove's maternal uncle, retired Boston police officer Max O'Bannon, is aware of his past and encourages Dove to retire early, feeling he has done his penance. Sees Dove on TV. Okay, Rube Goldberg-esque mechanism. Okay, spoilers. Right? To a large politically incorrect show, like... No, I don't think I'm gonna watch this. I think this is a relatively boring film. Wait, what? The film also spawned a FMV video game tie-in for PC and Mac, developed by Imagination Pilots and published by IVI Publishing Inc. That's interesting. Novelization based on the film. Oh man, remember when movies had like written adaptations, and it wasn't all like film adaptations of movies? Or Laserdisc? Okay. Its success paled in comparison to another Mad Bomber movie from that same year, Speed, which, wait, what? Speed? Speed came out in 1994? Oh, that's insane. None of these are good options. Oregon, Massachusetts. State in the New England region. So I just want to know what this is. Consisting of Connecticut, Maine, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, Rhode Island, and Vermont. East of New York. South of Canada. Interesting. Massachusetts. First English colonist, Church of England. Puritans believed the Church of England needed to be further reformed along Protestant Calvinist lines. Experience rate. Oh, yeah. We know. Revolutionary War, Federal period, 19th century, 20th century. Great Depression, Springfield Armory. Boom. All roads lead to Hitler. That's 1, 2, 3. Update the scoreboard. Another 3, boys. Another 3. Let's go. Let's get it 2. Nope. Not getting a 2 off of this one. Ragam. Navanitam, meaning the eternal new one, is a ragam in Carnatic music, musical scale of South Indian classical music. Oh! Navanitham is a Sanskrit word meaning fresh butter, Nava meaning fresh, and Nitha meaning butter. Is the 4th ragam. Is how. No, that's not right. Shit. Oh, man. In GUI, such a gap does not occur. Man, I want to hear this, but I'm sure that anything I could possibly listen to will get copyright struck. And I am streaming, if you're not watching on YouTube, I am streaming on YouTube, so I don't want to get copyright struck. Jeez. Does not have a genre ragam associated with it. See list of genre ragas, a full list of Saragami Padini. Something like that, maybe. Oh, this is insane. Carnatic music. Telugu, Navanitha, and Sanskrit. A few. Jeez. Oh, good thing I left coughing up. There we go. You know what? Let's go ahead and this can't be copyrightable. Okay. That's the Navanism. I guess. Jesus shit. How am I gonna... Okay, Tamil. One of the longest surviving classical languages in the world. Classical languages at early forms, silent forms. Okay, we have options. We have options. Run one, and we have options. Tamil. I want to know how recently it... Oh, look at that. Tamil medium schools has been in process in Myanmar to provide education completely in Tamil language by the Tamils who settled there 200 years ago. Cool. I like it. Dialects... Wait, in Myanmar? And this is present day. Oh, so it's just still spoken. Huh. That's super cool. The emergence of the present tense? Are you... What? Okay, the present tense in Tamil. Okay, so there was... Okay, in Old Tamil there was no present tense, I presume. Modern Tamil, Nanyul remains the standard normative grammar for modern... Okay. Whereas the colloquial spoken Tamil unconscious shows a number of changes. The negative conjugation of verbs, for example, is fallen out of use. This negation is expressed either morphologically or syntactically. Fair enough. Modern spoken Tamil also shows a number of sound changes, lower high vowels in initial and medial positions, and the disappearance of vowels between plosives and between a plosive and erotic. Interesting. I am such a nerd for language. Jeez. So, Sri Lanka. Okay. Colombo in the Hill Country, 12th century. This is tricky. Schedule 8 of the... Tamil is one of the official languages of Singapore. Interesting. Sri Lanka, along with Sinhala, was once given nominal official status in the Indian state of Haryana, purportedly as a rebuff to Punjab, though there was no attested Tamil-speaking population in the state, and was later replaced by Punjabi in 2010. Interesting. Education. We could go through Myanmar again, but that was a slow path. Oh, the socio-linguistic situation of Tamil is characterized by diglossia. There are two separate registers varying by socioeconomic status, a high register and a low one. I wonder which is associated with what level of socioeconomic status. Tamil dialects are primarily differentiated from each other by the fact that they have undergone different phonological changes and sound shifts in evolving from Old Tamil. For example, the word for here, inku in Centamil, has evolved into inku. Inga in the Dio and Inkai. Okay. I was so scared that I was supposed to be pronouncing the difference between Inku and Inku. Is a source of Old Tamil's Incan, where Khan means place, is a source of incarnate in the... Wait. Is that the... God damn it. Oh. Okay. No. Spoken in a literary value. Oh, okay. Oh, this is like the whole alphabet. palm leaf manuscript from when? Oh man. 19th century or earlier. Damn. That's from the 1800s. Oh, that's so fucking cool. Anyway, that's not a page. That's not a mini index scripts track of Rama, but that's. I think our best option is just gonna be India. Sample text, yeah, is shop. Yeah. I am just gonna have to go India. That's 2, right? We're on 2? Yeah. 2 pages. Thanks for India. There is a. I'm gonna do that. Oh, what? Territory claimed but not controlled? Oh, this is what they're fighting over with China. Is this? This is where there's like a. Wait, what? It's not. Okay, it is. This is where there's like a war of bows and arrows and like clubs and shit like that. I'm pretty sure. That like there's like some kind of armistice where like India agreed with China that they're happy to fight over this region, but they're not happy to fight using firearms or like projectile uh like firearms, just generally like firearms and like modern weapons, but like they're all like scouting it and trying to claim the territory just by like walking around it and everything like that. We are after 7. Okay, after this one, I'm gonna try to take a break. Names for India, 50 history. No, Indian history is gonna go away. Early modern English East India Company. That's still a little early. Modern India. Why is there a different page for Indian participation in World War II? Really? Okay. Imperial Japan. Nazi Germany. Come on, I want to try and find a direct reference to Hitler on this page. I don't think I'm going to. Collaboration with the. Okay. Oh, maybe. Maybe. Azad hand. No. Okay. Whoa. Mouse wheel, please. There we go. Nazi Germany. Yeah, okay. This is a page we haven't actually. This is a very interesting page to not have encountered in a game of all roads lead to Hitler, since like this is a usual through line to get to Hitler. But how many was this? Oof. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 4. Not bad. Not bad. Not good. What is it? 9.4 Ronkin. Not great. Not terrible. Now, I remember taking a break does not change your sound settings. Oh, okay. Very interesting. I forgot to change my scene earlier. And we're back. Oh, my camera's still. There we go. Hello. Now we're back. I'm gonna need to set that back up again. Bring up. Nazi chat. Wait, what? Oh, we made Hitler. Yeah. There we go. Go away. Resize the window. Gotta get the full complement of Hitler on screen. And we'll start another round. Okay. Oh. This might be a girded run. This might be a girded run. After the what? Oh, come on. Okay, I'm not gonna get a 1. That's really annoying. Dismissal. Okay, so Rudolf Pabus Cleveringer, born 2nd of April 1894 in the Netherlands, was a Dutch professor of law at Leiden University. He is known for his speech of 26th of November 1940, in which he protested against the dismissal of Jewish colleagues ordered by the German occupation authorities. I think that we've got to go. Okay. After a brief stint at the court of Alkmaar in 1927, he was appointed professor of commercial law and civil law at Leiden University. There, he gave as dean of the faculty of law, he delivered his famous speech in which he protested against the resignation. Is there? Hang on. I need to find. I want to find this guy's speech. I want to know if this is recorded, because what was it, 1940? No. It's going to be in German anyway, isn't it? Right? Okay. So we're probably not going to get to listen to this speech. That's a shame. That's a damn shame. I really wanted to listen to that speech. Famous speech. Okay, hang on. Let me... Screw it. Let's do a quick little watch. We'll have to resize this. Come on. Here we go. Okay, you can't actually hear it. So I'll just read the subtitles. I'm at a very special location. On November 26, 1940, Professor Cleveringer held a speech here. Cleveringer. The speech has been so significant for the university, for all of us, for what we represent, the values of this university, the bastion of freedom, that I'd like to tell you more about it. Who was Cleveringer? What was the speech about? What were the consequences? That's the story I'd like to tell you. Okay, so I don't think we're going to get to hear the speech, but this is a little video about it. This is super interesting. This is the Senate room of Leiden University. in the Academy building in Riepenberg. Jesus. This is where the story of Professor Kloiveringer and Professor Myers begins. Myers? Yeah, what's going on? The year is 1940. Holland is occupied by Nazi Germany. It's slowly becoming clear what the Nazis' plans are for Holland. Yeah, in October 1940, all the civil servants, professors, and university staff had to sign the Iron Declaration. Oh god. It's a declaration that confirms they're an Iron. Fuck. A pure-blood European with no Jewish blood in their veins. Jesus, this controversial measure stirs up much debate in this room as well. Should we cooperate or not? What's the occupiers' concern whether we're Aryan or Jewish? Good point. In the end, most professors decide to comply with the request. The reasoning is that the university has to stay open. We have to continue educating, so it's cooperate with the occupier. It's preferable that we keep on teaching than that someone else takes our place. Like a pro-Nazi who would then teach. In November, a disaster hits the university. The next measure is taken. Everyone who is Jewish or of Jewish descent is removed from the university. And not just from the university, but from Dutch public life as well. Is there not even a transcript? All civil servants, including professors and staff who are Jewish, are dismissed. That's a huge blow for the university. I bet it is. The number of prominent professors, such as Professor David and Mayers, a famous lawyer, are removed by the Nazis. They're no longer allowed to lecture or work as a professor. Disgusting. Despicable. That measure is discussed in this room. The professors and the academic senate gather and discuss how they're going to respond. Are we going to protest or close the university in protest? Shall we call a strike amongst students? What should we do? That is the issue at hand, and it's discussed at length. The stakes are high. It's well known that the Germans fiercely punish any resistance. Well, yeah, so it's dangerous to make a stand. But at this point, Professor Kloiveringer, Dean of the Faculty of Law, decides, this is where we draw the line. This is unacceptable. I stand here before you today at a time when you expect someone else, your teacher and mine, Myers. The reason for this is a letter received by him this morning from the Department of Education, Arts and Science, which said the following, and I quote, "In the name of the Reich Commissioner of the occupied Dutch territory concerning non-Aryan government staff and equivalent personnel, I inform you that as of today you've been relieved of your duties." Jesus. As professor at the Leiden University. Not good. Has more than one protagonist. Okay. I'm standing here in the middle of the neighborhood where two of them lived. Professor Kloiveringer lived in the next street. In the house in the corner behind me was Professor Edward Myers, whose dismissal was the focus point of Kloiveringer's speech. But who was Professor Myers? Myers was born in 1880, and in 1910, when he was only 30 years of age, I'm 30, he was appointed as professor at the Faculty of Law at the Leiden University. God damn. Brilliant and versatile lawyer he was. He has left his mark on many facets of law, I bet. He was acknowledged for this too. He received honorary doctorates from Paris, Brussels, Leuven, and other places. Man, back when a university education meant something, huh? He was also a good citizen for the community in Leiden. He was a dean, and in 1926 and 1927 he even became chancellor. In short, he was a true citizen of Leiden. Even though he had studied in Amsterdam, but that happens to the best of quick little dig at Amsterdam. That's fucking hilarious. This is where, on the 26th of November, Kloiveringer appeared before his students to give his speech. It was the time and place where Myers was supposed to give his lecture. Myers couldn't do this because he had been removed by the Germans, yes, we know. He had been relieved of his duties. The moment Kloiveringer appeared, the students already knew that something was going to happen. The rumor was that Kloiveringer, the dean of the Faculty of Law, was going to give a protest speech. The way he formulated his protest was exceptional. He didn't call for a strike or resistance. He urged the students to be cautious. Smart. Everyone knew of the risks of opposing the Germans. What Cleveringer did was state the scientific accomplishments of Myers. Oh, gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. What he had published, which matters concerned him, and how well known he was abroad. It was a very calm and modest speech, and likely therefore so impressive. Because Cleveringer wasn't one to jump on the barricades. And Professor's used to not be. He was an eminent professor. The fact that he dared to say how unacceptable the German measure was gives it special significance. Yeah, I mean, that's true. In accordance with Dutch tradition, the Constitution states that every Dutch person can serve his country in any way and be appointed to any function or dignity, as is their right, yeah, and grants them equal civil and citizens' rights regardless of their religion. Absolutely based. According to Article 43 of the Law of Armed Conflict, the occupying force is obligated to respect the country's laws. That's true, and was absolutely prevented to do so. Yep. We can see it no other way than that the Germans were prevented in no way. Yeah, they weren't. That would give cause to remove Myers from where he was. Yeah, it was an absolutely unfair imposition. What happened to Professor Myers and his family? In 1940, he was dismissed. He then ended up with a group of intellectuals. And despite promises to the contrary, the group was transported onwards, first to Camp Westerbork in Dronth, and then on September 4th, 1944, straight across Europe, and the second to last train to ever leave Camp Westerbork to Theresienstadt concentration camp in the former Czechoslovakia. The liberation came in time, and Myers returned to Leiden. Thank goodness. The story doesn't end there. In 1947, he got the honorable assignment to revise the Dutch Civil Code. Cool. I think we're past. He single-handedly made the new draft for this. He did a lot of work on it himself. He worked on it almost until his death in 1954. When he was finished, he had to be replaced by an entire team. Yeah, it had been a one-man project until then. That code of law was adopted in 1992, and it's still in use today. There were students here from different faculties, and when Cleveringer spoke, people were quiet as a mouse. You could hear a pin drop. When he was finished talking, a student stood up and spontaneously started singing the Wilhelmus, our national anthem. All those present joined in. Mega based. It showed that everybody knew exactly what was happening, that the academic community, the professors, and the students had the same sentiments, that what the Germans did was absolutely despicable, and that they protested against those measures. That gave the speech special significance that went beyond this room of just Cleveringer and Myers. But what they did, the message they sent, which is still important today, is that this university can only function in freedom. And any university, in fact. That's why for centuries the university's seal states Praesidium Libertatis, bastion of freedom. Hell yeah, you need the freedom of thought, expression, and religion in order to do scientific research and to provide education for everyone. Absolutely based and true pilled. That's what Cleveringer conveyed, and it was absorbed and amplified by the students. And that's why November 26, 1940 is such an important day for our university and for Holland. It was the first time an official institute protested against Nazi measures. This is where we draw the line. This is what we stand for as a university, as a people, and as a nation. Thanks to PhD Rick Wilson and Professor Dr. N.A.K. Sweeter. Oh, wait, the credits play. Directed by Roseanne van der Berg, Thomas Herskens, Hitler's University's Florence, Casa des Studenten Commission. Okay, yeah, right. I can't read German, and I'm sorry for that. But it is the case. Oh, wrong button. There we go. Okay, now let's see if we can get a 2. German occupation authorities. Come on. New high score. Let's go. Random article 1, 2. Update the scoreboard. Let's go. Last 2. Best 2. Okay. What is that in golf terms? Oh, no, wrong. Wrong window. Two strokes under par. No, we want an albatross or a double eagle. Double eagle, baby. Double eagle, let's go. Ironically enough, considering the context. Man, I didn't think we were going to get a 2 today. Start in India. Okay, we've already done this line. 1. Where was it? Climate. No, we didn't go that far down. 1 in India. 1, 2, 3, 4. Another 4. Okay. That's a shame. Still, I'm shocked that we made it 2. Temnore Folba is a village in the Kongousi department of Bam province in northern Burkina Faso. Has a population of 108. Man, when it says random article, it means random, huh? Different departments? That's such an interesting department or commune. Okay. Burkina Faso. 1. French. Senegalese rifles. I think I've heard of those guys. I have to serve verification needed. French Upper Volta. World War II. Adolf Hitler. What is this? This isn't a good one. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so 3. That's not bad. That's not bad at all for this. This is what we start with, and I still make it 3. I gotta change the par. But I'm not going to. The King's Own Militia, 1st Staffordshire, later the 3rd and 4th Battalion, South Staffordshire Regiment. Jesus. South Staffordshire Regiment was an auxiliary regiment in Staffordshire in the West Midlands of England. From 1662 and again after 1777, the regiment's primary role was in home defence and internal security. Favourite regiment of King George III, and spent much of the French Revolutionary and Napoleonic Wars protecting the king's residences, being rewarded with the title King's Own in 1805. Served in the Mediterranean garrisons of the Crimean War. Under the Caldwell Charters reforms, it became part of the South Staffordshire Regiment and raised a 2nd Battalion. Both battalions saw active service during the Second Boer War and trained thousands of reinforcements during World War I. Later, one of the battalions served in combat on the Western Front, being virtually destroyed during the German Spring Offensive. After a shadowy post-war existence, the battalions were formally disbanded in 1953. Do we get anything more specific than Wait, American War for Independence? Ooh. Interesting. Nothing relevant though. French Revolutionary War, 1852 reforms, Crimean War, Indian Mutiny, Color reforms. No. Okay. So easily German Spring Offensive. Oh, wait, what? During the First World War? Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. 19. No. No, I ended up in World War One. I'm fucked. Ugh. Shit. Development of tactics, 1915, 1909, German stormtroopers. Come on. Okay, how many was that? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so 4. Such a shame. Such a shame. Sammy Jones, footballer. Interesting. Irish professional footballer who played as a defender. Born in Oregon, Ireland, began his professional career with Distillery. Wait, what? He played for Blackpool throughout the World War II regional competitions, but retired before football proper resumed in 1946-47. That's... No, wait, is that another 2? Another double eagle? That's insane. Oh, my hair's all over the place. Jesus. I can't believe that. From fucking Sammy Jones. Jeez. This is the quintessential all roads lead to Hitler. You get to this, Sammy Jones football, you're like, this has nothing to do with Hitler. 2 pages. 2 hyperlinks. That's all it takes. That's insane. Alright. Let's get 039. I can... Nicholas Devereux. Oh, this one's gonna be tricky. 1855. Died in 1855. This one's gonna be very tricky. Nicholas Devereux was an Irish-American financier. Oh, jeez. And banker, and one of the major early landowners in western New York State. Quote, Nicholas Devereux was very charitable and hospitable, a cultured, pious, progressive Irish-American. He was proud of his nationality and of his faith, and this pride was expressed in action whenever and wherever the opportunity arose. End quote. Interesting. Devereux founded St. Bonaventure University. Ah. Good job. Was born June 7th, 1791, the son of Thomas and Catherine Corish Devereux of Carney, Wexford, England. They had 6 sons and 3 daughters. Originally of Norman French extraction, they were wealthy and well-connected, and lived at ease on their handsome estate, The Leap, at Davidstown, near Enniscorthy. They sympathized warmly with and took an aggressive part in the agitations preceding the Irish Rebellion of 1798, and on the defeat of the Patriots or rebels, the family was ruined. Oof. Thomas Devereux was arrested and imprisoned and pardoned just before his death. A price was set upon the heads of 3 of his sons, and his estates were confiscated. Jeez. The eldest son, Walter, was a man of powerful frame, distinguished for his strength and courage. The second son was John Corish Devereux, who, during the agitation preceding the rebellion, was obliged to fly from the country. He went first to France and afterwards to America. Thomas married Mary Redmond, and they had one son, John C. Jr., who was afterwards adopted by Thomas's brother, John C. Devereux of Utica. The fourth son, James, was killed at the Battle of Vinegar Hill. Fifth son, Luke, came to America and died of yellow fever at Natchez, Mississippi in 1818. Nicholas was the sixth son. One of his sisters became the superior of the Presentation Convent in Enniscorthy. John Carter Devereux, Nicholas's older brother, came to America in 1796 or 1797 and settled in Utica, New York in 1802. There he opened a dry goods and grocery store. The business prospered and became one of the most extensive in western New York. A courtly and polished gentleman, John C. Devereux was most noted for his charity and hospitality. He was a devout Catholic, but contributed generously to many charities and denominations. He was the first mayor of Utica elected by the people in 1840. Twice married, he had no children and adopted his nephew, John C. Devereux Jr., son of his brother Thomas. In 1806, at the age of 15, Nicholas Devereux emigrated to join his brother John, who had previously, on the first Sunday following his arrival, he attended Mass in St. Peter's, Berkeley Street, and put on the plate one of his last 3 gold coins. The sexton thought it as an offering of thanks for his safe trip to America. He was employed as a clerk for his brother until going to work for William James and Company in Albany, New York. James had immigrated from Bailey Botter, County Cavan, Ireland around 1789 and amassed a vast fortune from business dealings in upstate New York, primarily in Albany real estate, money lending, and his involvement with the building of the Erie Canal. William James also owned a salt company. Oh, good money in a salt company, a tobacco factory, and a Hudson River shipping operation. Going wide, love it. In 1814, Devereux returned to Utica and went into partnership with his brother in a firm that, after his brother retired in 1816, became Devereux & Co. The firm was one of the largest in western New York. Huh. Oh, they ran a bank. Utica Savings Bank, for which they obtained a charter. John was elected president. At first, the bank was operated from his office, a vacant shop where the corporation's secretary, Salem Williams, would receive deposits. Passbooks were kept on shelves behind the shop counter. On the wall was a gauge for measuring height for the purposes of identification, and a detailed physical description of each depositor was maintained in a memorandum book. In 1868, the bank moved to new quarters on the corner of Genesee and Fayette Streets. Largely through his efforts, the state hospital was located in Utica, and he was a member of the first board of managers. In the interest of the New York Life and Trust Company, he spent some time in Albany, and while there took active part in the organization of the Utica and Schenectady Railroad, of which he became a director. This guy sounds awesome. Francis Cannon, right? Became acquainted with the family of Dr. Benjamin Butler, a surgeon, on his business trips to New York. He married their daughter, Mary Dolbear Butler, on November 28th, 1817. They had 6 children. Very Irish. His daughter Hannah married United States Senator Francis Kernan. Oh, that's the guy. His daughter Mary became a Sister of Mercy and labored for 30 years in the convents in Houston, 81st Street, New York. His son, John C. Devereux, assisted in managing his father's extensive properties. In 1831, his family was subject to a dangerous case of influenza. While it appears that members of the Devereux household survived, the attending physician succumbed to the illness, leaving behind 7 sons and 4 daughters. If it's... Okay. Simplest. I'm just going to assume you're a bot. The most interesting bot so far, but yeah, probably a bot. Alright, we gotta start looking for actual links. Irish Rebellion. No, that's not gonna do it. Oh, sorry. Albany, New York. That could be an option. Holland Purchase. Nope. Western New York. No. Manufactured broadcloth. Hell yeah. I love textiles. Textiles are dope. Francis Cannon. No. Oh. He had a edition of the New Testament printed at his own expense. 40,000 copies. Taught Sunday school, and just gave a copy of the New Testament to any boy or girl who memorized the Gospel of St. John. Mega best gospel. Maryland. The Christian Brothers. Oh, okay. Well, not quite what we're looking for. Certain piece of, so too few and too poor. Immediately advanced. Although the grateful pioneer Catholics did in fact repay him later. Based. Give fucks, know nothings. Wait, what? Native Americans, we were foreign. That is such an. I'm saving that for later. I want to know about that. Ironically enough. Freeman's journal, offering to be one of 100 persons who would each give $1,000 towards founding a seminary at Rome for the education of American priests. Oh, he had moreover several conversations with Cardinal, but promised to use the influence of Pope Pius IX to carry out the project. After his death, his widow carried out his wishes, and thus was begun the foundation of the American College at Rome. Huh. I didn't know that was even a thing. Very interesting. What a great guy. Utica, New York, St. Peter's, Blackley Street, Behavior, Albany. That's right, we're gonna go Albany. West New York, Holland Burgess, Wyoming. Okay. Albany. History. Revolutionary War. Early decades. 1800s to 1942. That's what I'm looking for. It doesn't come up. It actually doesn't come up. Okay. It was in the 1960s. Oh, man. Oh, no. Oh? Hang on. Hang on. Okay, we might be onto something here. Irish immigrants. Jewish community has been established earlier, so far. Before and after World War One. Come on. No. Come on. Oh man, I can't believe this. Economy, technology, arts and culture. Sure. Okay. Okay, we did it. How many was that? 1, 2, 3. Okay, 3. Yeah, it's no 2. But a 3 is not bad. Still an eagle. I've got to change par. If it ever takes me 5. Yeah. You know what? We're changing par to 3. 5 is way too high. I'm gonna pay for doing that. Hopefully, I mean, oh, Japanese National Route 18. A national highway connecting Takasaki and Shoitsu, Niigata in Japan. A section of the highway is designated as part of the Japan Romantic Road. Series of theme routes. Interesting. I don't want to drive that road. Gunma Prefecture intersects with bypasses. Okay, this is going to be tricky. Maybe not so tricky. Japan, history, feudal era, modern era. Second World War II in the Pacific. Right. Okay. So belligerents. Okay. Participants. Axis, power. Okay. Quarter time. Okay. Germany and Italy. Both had limited involvement. Historical background. Japanese forces tried to push into the Soviet Far East. Japanese defeat, 1941. Strategic bombing efforts. Tensions between Japan and the West. Yeah, there were a lot of those. Shit. Carried out air attacks on Northern Australia? I'm not gonna lie, I didn't know that happened, and I should have. No wonder we were so afraid. Here in New Zealand. So what's the Sitting River, man? Philippines campaign. God damn. Through to Australia. Allies regroup. Doolittle Raid, Coral Sea, Medway, New Guinea, Guadalcanal. Guadalcanal, very serious. Burma. Allied offensives. Okay. Maybe too long to read and navigate comfortably. Yeah, no fucking shit. Alright. How many was that? This is Japan. 1, 2, 3, 4. I knew it. I knew it as soon as I lowered the part of 3 that I can hit a 4. It's last 4. 1 over par. What is that called? No, wrong one. I don't know. A bogey. Yeah, okay, I knew that. That's crazy that the AI responded to me in French. I don't know. I don't know why. United Nations Global Initiative to Fight Human Trafficking. Oh, I wonder how well it worked. Wow, that's weird. Very weird, because there's still human trafficking going on, so it's like, is it working or not? Mission. Ungift mobilizes state and non-state actors to eradicate human trafficking by reducing both the vulnerability of potential victims and the demand for exploitation in all its forms. How? Ensuring adequate protection and support to those who do fall victim. How? And supporting the efficient prosecution of the criminals involved, while respecting the fundamental human rights of all persons. Man, they're awake. Please help improve it. Yeah, no, I don't think I will. International Labor Organization. Ooh, this might be a double bogey. Convention Against Transnational Organized Crime. Founded in 2006. Jeez, okay. Regulations, Children's Fund. Okay. Basically, the end of stream. Let's see if we can do this. See. 0. International. It doesn't even link to the United Nations itself. How is, like, it's the United Nations Global Initiative to Fight Human Trafficking. But it doesn't actually link to the United Nations at all. Which would be a valid line. Like, we could actually do something with that. Okay, that's one. Let's see, 93. No. This is actually going to take me to Geneva. That's 2. Okay, we're kind of speeding through it now. Wait, what? History. Napoleonic Wars, Swiss Confederation, 1907. Climate, politics, parliament. What the hell? It declares itself related to the entire world. Yeah, that sounds about right for Geneva. Fastest growing in Europe, functional urban area. I don't want the German language. Birth rate, historical population, religion. Protestant Rome? Wait, what? St. Peter Cathedral is where Calvin and his Protestant reformers preached. The epicenter. I didn't know this. The Reformation basically started in Geneva? Huh. Crime in Switzerland. Can we get a direct reference to Switzerland, please? French-speaking Switzerland. No, okay, there must be one. Okay, come on. Second most populous city in Switzerland. Yeah, of course. Okay. The aftermath of World War I. No direct mentions of World War II. That's a damn shame. Okay. Switzerland. Is this going to be the worst one? This is going to be my worst run, isn't it? Etymology, history, beginnings, old Swiss Confederacy, Napoleonic Federal State, 1839, modern history, World War II, and Hitler. Okay, how many was that? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, another 4. All right. Well, we got 2 2s, which is insane. Was I? Okay. Sorry, I just got jump scared by my YouTube thing. And I forgot to change the scene. Alright, wonderful. So that was All Roads Lead to Hitler. I hope everybody had fun. I can't believe I got a 2 twice. 2 double eagles. That's absolutely insane. Bunch of 3s and 4s. No 5, so we had to lower the par. Put it down to 3, and then got 2 bogeys straight after it. Which is about right. But if you watched today and are still watching, thank you very much. And if you watched today and aren't still watching, thank you very much anyway. Loved having you. Hope you had fun. And that's going to be the stream.